Okay, Paul Morrissey here in Bangkok, Thailand, here with this YouTube vlog on yesterday's El Clasico at the Santiago Bernabeu as Football Club Barcelona beat Real Madrid by 3-0. 3-0. Huge result, emphatic, arguably historic for Los Culés. A scoreline that will go down with the 2-6 and the 5-0. I mean, 3-0 at the Bernabeu. All the more emphatic given that Barca technically didn't even need to win the thing. All right, they were already 11 points clear of their eternal Madridista rivals, but they still managed to pull off such a huge win, and it basically, completely rules Madrid out of the title race now and puts one hand on the trophy for Football Club Barcelona, because second place Valencia will obviously tail off in the second half of the season, and Atletico just don't look like they have the gasolina for a long-term title race this season. So I'm actually doing this on my mobile phone because I'm too lazy to have the digital camera. I'm going to do a proper vlog walking around Lumpini Park here in a minute. Just standing here under the King Rama VI statue outside Lumpini Park. So I'll just take a walk around so you can catch a bit of the Bangkok background as I talk. So Barca won 3-0, as I said, thanks to goals from Luis Suarez, Leo Messi from the penalty spot, and Alex Vidal. But never mind the names next to the scoreline, because this was a real team victory for Barca. Yes, Messi will grab much of the headlines, but likes of Busquets, Rakitic, Jordi Alba, Ter Stegen, the whole team really produced on the day. Madrid, they actually started the game quite well. Sergio Ramos presenting the Club World Cup final trophy to the Madridista fans, and they had the ball in the net within a minute, and they had several good chances in the first half, but then they just fell away in the second half, and it was actually a crucial tactical detail which led to Barca taking the lead. So in terms of starting lineups, the real big talking point was the fact that Zinedine Zidane left out influential and arguably the most important attacking playmaker in the Madrid ranks, Isco, opting instead for Mateo Kovacic in order to do a man-marking job on little Leo Messi. So this plan has worked to great effect in the recent past, notably in the latest Supercopa España. And so Zizou decided that they wanted to mark Messi out of the game again. Surprised at that, given that this was at the Bernabeu. I thought Madrid would just throw a bit more caution to the wind and not be so tactically neurotic over Barca. It's a plan that can work really well, but then we saw how it can. The real drawback to this plan is when there's a dilemma for the man marker. So the real turning point came when Sergio Busquets did a lovely little Zizou-esque spin, played the ball into Rakitic, and then Rakitic somehow, on first glance, you're wondering how has he got the full midfield to just run through. And it actually turned out on the replay it was because Kovacic didn't go to him. Normally Kovacic would have went to Rakitic, but he was so worried about Messi because he'd been told to stick to Messi at all costs that he didn't go with his logic or initiative, and he let Rakitic just run through the thing. It was incredible, but you can't really blame Kovacic. He was under strict orders to stick to Messi. I think the real man to blame there is Casemiro. All right, he was really poorly positioned at the start of that attack. He was out to the left. He should have been around the midfield centre circle to cover that ground. And what was incredible actually about as Rakitic was running, the way Madrid players were jogging back, Carvajal, Kovacic looked like Peter Reid chasing after Diego Maradona in Mexico. It was incredible, their lack of. I feel like this goal symbolised the whole game. Madrid just didn't seem to believe, from that point in the second half, they just sort of ran out of ideas, and whereas Barca grew into the game and were really tactically astute and ready for their moment to pounce. So that's Suarez making it 1-0. And then the game is all wrapped up really for the second goal, because Dani Carvajal gets himself sent off for acting like a goalkeeper and swatting the ball away with his hand. Some Madrid fans were aggrieved at this decision, thought that advantage should have just been given and let Barca have the goal. But that's not allowed on penalties. You can't give advantage, so it was the correct decision. 10-man Madrid now, 2-0 Barca. Messi smashed the ball into the back of the net. An emphatic, iconic celebration, Conor McGregor-esque, in front of the Madrid fans. Messi, although he's a shy, reserved lad, like I think he really, really enjoys sticking it to the Madrid fans. Last year he took off his shirt and bared the name Messi to the Bernabeu crowd, and yesterday he did a similar act of bravado, and you can see he really enjoyed it, pumping his fists and everything. That makes him the highest scorer in the Clasico fixture in history at the Bernabeu. He already was the highest scorer in Clasico history, but at the Bernabeu now as well. 25 goals in all at the Bernabeu. And then, incredibly, Isco didn't even come on. There was a bit of a polemica about what happened there. He didn't warm up. He went on Twitter to make clear that he didn't refuse to warm up. It was just the fact that he thought all the subs were going to be used by then. And your man, what's your man's name? That Welsh lad, Gary Bale. Yeah, he actually came on, Gary Bale, in the second half. He had a great chance, but he kicked it right at Ter Stegen. That was Madrid's probably their best chance of that late stage of the game. They really, that 10-man Madrid were just looking ragged, and Barca were running through them. Messi really enjoying himself, linking up well with Paulinho. Paulinho, by the way, I forgot to mention him. What a game he had. Fresh, faded mohawk, looking like a warrior, and he's a beast. I mean, he's so underrated, and he gets laughed at because he was crap at Tottenham, but he's been brilliant for Barca so far this season. And like I said, linking up really well with Messi. Nearly scored after coming onto a through ball for Messi, and was involved throughout the game. Ronaldo, let's have a look at Ronaldo and Benzema for a minute. Ronaldo, apart from his offside header, did a terrible game. He fresh aired his shot midway through the first half, and was just smashing random shots without really linking up. He had one link up with Benzema, and Benzema also fresh aired his shot. He's been señalado, as we say in Spanish. He's been blamed by the Madrid fans. He finished 2017 with 14 goals. 14 measly goals. I mean, I really think his time at the Bernabeu was up. I think Zizou gives him a bit too much favouritism. They're both Algerian Frenchmen, and I just think Benzema's often said Zizou's like his older brother, and maybe a bit too much fraternity there, a bit too much politics going on. Like when you think Morata was allowed leave, Morata's clearly superior to Benzema at this point of their respective careers. Yes, it's 2-0 to Barca now at this stage of my match vlog, and then Alex Vidal comes off the bench and he scores with effectively his first touch. A lovely Messi cross, which had the added little wonderful little detail that Messi lost his boots as he sped past Marcelo. He absolutely destroyed Marcelo there. Marcelo actually had a terrible game, a shocker. I think he's also on the way down. He's had a shocker all season. And then Messi just crossed it in, and you could see that the boot came off. And then Vidal finished it off. So that's the 3 goals there for you. The Carvajal sending off really obviously was the second turning point, but the real turning point was the first goal, because I just think it symbolised and signified Barca's arrival into the game. They'd waited for the chance in the long grass. A couple of little details. I was quite amused by Carvajal's reaction to the sending off. He just ran off the pitch so nobly, like a fallen soldier. I've never seen a guy complain less over a red card. If it was Sergio Ramos, you can imagine what he would have done, because he actually punched Suarez in the neck and should have taken his yellow card without a single word, because he could have been sent off, but he was actually given out about it. And then he made this ridiculous quote to the press in the mix zone afterwards, talking about the Catalan politician Puigdemont and making a reference to Catalan independence, which was a little bit clumsy and unfortunate. So there you go. There's your match YouTube vlog on Barca's 3-0 win in El Clasico. La Liga is done for the season. Unfortunately, a little bit too early, in terms of suspense and spectacle. And who would have thought this at the start of the season? It looked like Barca were the team that were going to struggle in the absence of Neymar. And it just goes to show, like, nobody knows anything. Nobody knows anything, because we all thought after the Super Cup, Madrid were going to go and build a real dynasty and go and maybe win a second league in a row, maybe win a third Champions League. That looks extremely unlikely that they'll have any chance in the Champions League this season as well, because the wheels are just emphatically coming off, and they're currently 4th in La Liga. And Barca, you know, it's a prosaic Barca. They're almost a symbol of the stoic and austere manager Ernesto Valverde. There's nothing especially spectacular about them. They're working as a team. They're nowhere near as spectacular as the Pep teams or even the Luis Enrique teams, but they're getting the results and they're playing like a team, and they're going to be La Liga champions. So, thank you very much for watching this YouTube vlog. For myself, Paul Morrissey, here in Bangkok under this glorious winter sunshine. Hope you enjoy just a casual walking around vlog at the park here, and then I'm going to do a proper vlog, real thing, with the real camera in a moment. Please subscribe. Muchas gracias. Cup and cap. Thank you. Ciao.